Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Recha HaKodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us this truth and rule well, and Shalom to the hopeful elect, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Recha HaKodash, Barakatam. It's the brother Kazak coming back at it again with another lesson, and the title of this lesson is going to be A Shortage of Truck Drivers. All right, now I came across this article. It's titled, A U.S. Court Ruling May Take 70,000 Truckers Off-Road. All right, and that's going to spur jams. Okay, so basically, what's going on is an unrighteous decree. I just skimmed through this article real quick, and it turns out that, California specifically, all right, is passing a law, that makes it more strict, to become a truck driver. All right. So in effect, what that's going to do is that's going to make a lot of, the majority of truck drivers, or many truck drivers, it says 70,000 truckers, that's not a small number. That's gonna make them, be ineligible, to do what they do, and this is gonna ultimately, going to contribute, to the storehouses being found empty, as it is written in the scriptures. All right. And it's all at the result of unrighteous decrees, which we're going to get into. Okay. So let's just start, with the article. It says the U.S. Supreme Court decision that could force California's 70,000 truck owner operators to stop driving is set to create another choke point in an already stressed West Coast logistics network. All right. A truckers organization said. Okay. It says gasoline has been poured on the fire that is our ongoing supply chain crisis, the California Trucking Association said in a statement following the Supreme Court decision to deny a judicial review of a decision of a lower court, a process known as certiorari, something like that. And that's crazy how they got like these names. You know what I'm saying? For this. This is how this is Rome all over again, But continue on, and it reads, and we know how, Rome ended, man. You know what I'm saying? Just so much division, so much sedition, so much of it being, expanded and stretched out, you know what I'm saying? That it basically broke up into different, kingdoms. And that's what's going on with Babylon, except it's not going to break up into different kingdoms and then hundreds of years going to pass by. No, this place is going to be destroyed with ICBM thermonuclear missiles, man. All right. So you're going back into it. All right. It reads, in addition to the direct impact on California's 70,000 owner operators who have 7 days to cease longstanding independent businesses, the impact of taking tens of thousands of truck drivers off the road will have devastating repercussions on an already fragile supply chain, increasing costs and worsening runaway inflation. Okay, so, hey, man, like I said, this is going to increase inflation. All right, because what's happening is, the supply chain crisis didn't go nowhere, man. That's still here. That's still happening. All right, and here it is. Esau, what he's doing is he's taking away, the only thing that's in a sense relieving that situation. Okay, and he's doing this on purpose, man. And you know what? It's Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai putting the spirit on him to do that. Because he's the wicked. He's gonna do that because he wants to, try to reset. Like the elder apostle Tahar, he went into it, the great reset, man. All right, they're gonna, turn off the switch on Babylon, and then come in with a new system in place. A new system in place, which that's gonna be, the image of the beast. You know what I'm saying? So continuing on, and it reads, all right, it reads, an increasing costs and worsening runaway inflation. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying with that? Because this is ultimately a problem that's going to make the situation in the supply chain worse. Okay, because with a lack of truck drivers delivering and moving, the products and the food and just things that need distributing. All right, so lucky for my stammering lips. Okay, but the things that needs distributing being lowered. All right, guess what? That's gonna create more prices. Product is not gonna move on time. Certain things are gonna rot. All right, certain foods that are fresh, that have to be kept in fresh temperatures, they're gonna rot because they're not being moved and processed on time, and they're not being consumed on time. It's gonna hold a lot of things back. All right, it is a literal nightmare. And this makes me think about that conversation I had with this truck driver, about a few weeks ago. All right, this conversation that I had, with this truck driver a few weeks ago. He was so hopeful that someone's gonna step in and save the day. But hey, look where the situation is going to, man. You know what I'm saying? Now you got 70,000 truck drivers at risk of losing their jobs. He might be one of them. You know, but that's because this kingdom is not going to be saved. This kingdom is going to be destroyed. All right, this kingdom is on a downward spiral. It's circling around the drain. Okay, and you got Esau. This is part of his attempts to save this place. In order to go out with the old and come in with the new, where he's going to implement the C to the H to the I to the P. The charagma. All right, but guess what? You know what I'm saying? Guess what? It's not gonna prosper, man. All right. The so like Yahweh Shem Shai is going to disappoint the enterprise of the wicked. Okay. So let's just continue on reading this. It says, in addition, well, no, I already read this. Salaki. It says the association asked the Supreme Court for a review of a case challenging California's Assembly 5 bill. Okay, Salaki, Assembly Bill 5, a law that sets out 3 tests to determine whether a worker is an employee entitled to job benefits or an independent contractor who isn't. All right. So it says a law that sets out 3 tests to determine whether a worker is an employee entitled to job benefits or an independent contractor who isn't. All right. So basically, you got to qualify now to be a truck driver, man. And that's why, it's crazy, because the spirit was never on me, to become a truck driver. So many people, talking about, oh, you should become a truck driver, this and that. Yeah, that's good money and this, well, guess what, man? Now you asked out. You probably bought a big ass truck. You know what I'm saying? They probably, hella, in depth. They got to pay, the most expensive type of fuel, the diesel. Now they asked out, man. All right. It says the trucking industry relies on contractors and has fought to be exempt from state regulations for years because of federal law. All right. And the crazy thing is, you know what I'm saying, they trying to use federal law to fight these state regulations, right? But little do they know, this is coming from the top, man. All right. If it was federal law that could protect them, the Supreme Court would have done something about it. They would have put a stop to whatever, little regulation law that California was trying to pass. But this is all happening by design. Okay. So let's continue on. It reads, and with few exemptions, the relationship between the independent truckers and their carriers and brokers and shippers will be governed by the tests. All right. So yeah, you gotta qualify to become a trucker now. All right, so it says, we are disappointed the court does not recognize the irrevocable damage eliminating independent truckers will have on the interstate. Okay, so I believe this is an association that says this. All right, now you do have a lot of truckers, especially, with the conversation that I had with that one particular truck driver. He seems like somebody that would do it, just to help out and try to make this place, try to alleviate the wounds of Babylon, try to alleviate, the situation with the supply chain crisis. He seems like one of those types of individuals. And I'm not trying to gas him up and big him up as some good guy, because ultimately he's kicking up the pricks. You know what I'm saying? But this is going to shut down all these truck drivers. All right. That's sincerely, because you would have dudes that would sincerely do it, just to help out and just to keep this place from falling into turmoil. But this is going to shut everything down. All right. This is just going to shut everything down. And it's all interconnected, man. These big corporations that produce, these products, man. You don't think that their CEOs and the people that run them, you don't think they're all connected with each other in these high level fraternities, these secret societies. They're all in them secret societies. All right, and they're all getting told what to do from the top, which is the elites, the different banking families. It's telling them, hey man, listen man, we're gonna pass this, we're gonna pass these regulations, and you're gonna go through with it, all right, in order to contribute to the downfall of America. Ultimately, they want to make the Great Reset, in order to contribute to their NWO. All right. So continuing on, and it reads, it says limiting independent truck drivers will have on interstate commerce and communities across the state. Okay, so hey, California might be one of the first states, that all hell might break loose in, man. This might be the one of the first states where all hell breaks loose in. All right, I'll just speak as a man on that, but this is, what I'm saying. Storehouses, will be found empty over here. That's for a fact. Inflation and prices will be at an all-time high. All right, it reads, California transportation industry is already taking action to see how business models will fit the new paradigm. And Harbor Trucking Association Executive Officer Matt Strapp said. All right, so, they're going to try to adapt to it, right? So continue on. This will have a profound effect on driver supply, at least here in the interim, he said in the interview on Bloomberg Television Friday, adding that the many entrepreneurs use the contract model as a pathway for opportunities in trucking. We've got many companies who have been planning for this, but we'll show how the chips fall. All right, so this is, basically something that, they ain't even planned out like that. This is just something that just happened on the whim, and it's really counterproductive. If you think about it, is very, counterproductive. That's how this is this is happening by design, because it's like, yo, man, here it is. You have a supply chain crisis, but then you gonna go and pass laws to regulate who becomes a truck driver and who isn't. You have to qualify to become a truck driver, and it's gonna put, it says 70,000, which I believe, I was on the phone with another brother. He said something about 100,000. So it might be more than just 7,000, man. It might be a lot of truck drivers that's going to be off the road and won't be able to do what they do and distribute resources and products, especially things that are essential for to survive, and it's because of what these devils are doing behind closed doors. It's ultimately all contributing to the fall of Babylon. All right, so let's just go to it. The book of Isaiah, chapter 10 and 1, and it reads, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. All right, and that's what they're doing. Okay, and this goes into all the all these wicked ass laws that they pass, all these decrees that they pass. But this is just an example, of an unrighteous decree. Now you're gonna have people that's gonna literally be affected by this in a big way. Prices going to skyrocket, inflation. The storehouses will be found empty. You know what I'm saying? Because the food and the products will not be get into the store on time, right? So that's what's going on, man. Okay, that's what's ultimately going to happen. So let's continue on with another precept. All right, it says the storehouse. All right, so 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and 22. Okay, that's crazy. I was trying to find this precept, during camp. But I'm gonna try to remember it now. All right, so 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 22, and it reads, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay, and that's ultimately what is manifesting itself. All right, also too, we could get this in the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12. All right, and it reads Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 3, and it reads, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. All right, now this is talking about these devils that are in the high places, where they analyze the economy. They analyze how the whole middle class, upper class dynamics are going. They analyze, the stocks in the companies. They analyze, supply chain issues and things of that nature. They're trembling, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you got the people in Wall Street, all right, through their own devices. They're going around buying up a whole bunch of houses in Texas. Because Texas, the prices of the houses are low. All right, but that goes to show you that they're going from intangible wealth, which is the stocks, to tangible, physical wealth, type of substance, which is, property. All right, that goes to show that stock market is about to collapse, man. All right, to continue on, it reads, the strong men shall bow themselves. Okay, and the grinders cease because they are few. All right, and this is, that's the key point right here, due with the article and what's basically happening with the truckers. All right, is that the grinders are going to cease because they are few, meaning they're not going to be able to, they're not going to qualify to become a truck driver. So now they asked out. Now they can't, they can't distribute the supplies. All right, and that's what's going to cause that's what's going to cause the full storehouses, which is written in 2 Esdras chapter 6 and 22. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Okay, and with these things happening at the rate they're happening, all right, it makes sense for it to say suddenly. It's a perfect choice of words for it to say the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. All right, because you best believe the average Babylonian, he's not paying attention to what's going on. All right, he doesn't care what's going on. He's too busy bitching about the gas prices and the work, man. Here it is. They about to, you know what I'm saying? They about to take, 70,000 truck drivers out of business. They about to, make it to where tens of thousands of truck drivers can't, do what they do anymore. So now when you go to the store and the soap bar, the food and everything ain't there no more, the things you need to survive, the things that are essential to living, right? Guess what? They're going to panic. They're going to lose their shit. Okay, and that's why it says, going back to Ecclesiastes 12 and 3, and those that look out the windows be darkened. All right, and then the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. All right, people ain't gonna be, they're not gonna be happy around this time, man. All right, people gonna be distressed. People are gonna be worried, stressed, all manner of, you know what I'm saying, low emotions, negative emotions. All right, the spirit of Babylon is dying, okay, and is being brought low. All right, and that's going to contribute to chaos and men, having sedition and invading one another. And speaking of sedition, I have this other article, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to necessarily bring this out. I was going to bring it out, if the spirit, led to it, but there was really no connection between the first article and the second article. But here you have, truckers actually using their trucks to protest, and what they're doing is they're going into, they're basically going into freeways, all right, and driving extremely slow, and that's their form of protest. All right, so you just factor everything in, man. This place is going down the drain. Okay, I just thought I'd bring that out, real quick. But hey, man. Just watching the times, man. Hey, with that, I'm going to say, Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakah HaKodash, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. All right, just keeping up in an update as to the situation here in Babylon. Is definitely circling down the drain. All right, so with that, I'm going to say, Shalom, on to the next.